It is time.
Hi, I'm Dan Mason, and you're watching Galaxy Reacts. A Galaxy Jam. One more time. Let me do that again. Hi, I'm Dan Mason. You're watching Galaxy Jam Reacts, and today we're listening to the Brave Little Abacus. Please don't cry. They stopped hours ago. This is a classic emo jam here. I think this song is just, if anybody wants to get into like DIY, do-it-yourself production, this is a song and an album, the whole album this is from, you need to listen to it. It's some of the craziest like freaking DIY stuff I've ever heard in my life, and it's so emotional and so well written. Oh, it kicks fucking ass. So let's get right into it.
Really lo-fi.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, the drummer.
By the way, the whole album this is from like flows. Every song flows into the next, and it's so beautiful.
Very driving.
And the drummer's going ham.
Yeah.
I feel like you can feel like what it's like being in that room.
Seeing them live would just be like out of control.
Yeah, sadly, I think they broke up a long time ago. I think they broke up right after this album dropped.
A lot of us have had a memory of being at a show like this, what it would feel like.
That was cool.
Change up. I know some people don't like his vocals because he's very, I think he has like a little bit of a lisp, but like, I love it.
Once again, it's those little things that make it memorable.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really, it's raw. He's putting all his emotion into the performance, you can tell.
I think that's what I really like about the production of this. It being so lo-fi and very DIY, is it's just so raw with emotion.
Yeah, I like that jangly guitar.
Oh yeah. You want to pause this?
Yeah. How did you come out? How did you come across this?
A friend of mine in Orlando introduced me to them, and I think they're just like known in like the emo scene, just like the kind of DIY emo scene. As like this album alone is just like a holy grail of it. Basically, I would say it's so fucking good.
Yeah.
But yeah, a friend of mine introduced it to me. And it just stuck with me, and this was like fucking probably like almost 10 years ago now, maybe 8 years ago, I want to say. And it just stuck with me in this album. I come back to it all the fucking time now because it's just such cool how it's written, how it's composed, and how it flows into each other. It's just so good.
it's very inviting. It puts me into a state of mind from like when we were touring. You'd be playing a show, like a house show in New Jersey, and they just kind of open up the garage. The sun is setting, like they got like their natty lights on top of their amps, and like you've had one or two. You got your arm around somebody, and like you're just completely in that moment, and it's so real. And like even though like it's just a small house show with maybe 60 kids there, like you are living for that moment.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
Adam, I know that this is more in your wheelhouse. Does this remind you of any other bands? Does this sound like anything else to you?
Oh, man, I mean, a bunch of bands that we've played with on the road and over the years. I mean, it's just all of that, 2010s, like early 2000s, like emo bands. It feels like so many of them.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like a lot of them have a lot of the same influences because that genre just sounds so similar between the different bands. But I could really see why this one, especially for their live shows, would stand out. I mean, that would be. I was getting the vibe of like being like wasted as hell, both my arms around my best buddies, and we're singing our hearts out. That's
like I mean it. I feel like I've been in the room when
I definitely
with this
have been.
happening.
Yeah. I've definitely been in a room with something like that, and oh man, the thought I was trying to remember who this reminds me of, and I can't remember the only band name that comes to my mind, and I might be absolutely wrong when I say this, but it kind of reminds me of like Menthol. There's this band from back in that same time that kind of reminds me of, but no, they're definitely very cool.
And I feel like we're at a point where we can appreciate this more. Like once again, like with streaming, with digital music production being as accessible as it is, like I remember when we were burning CDs and like when you're trying to get people to buy your CD, and once again you're trying to prove to everyone that you're good and that you're legitimate. It's like, please listen to my record. I promise it doesn't sound like you recorded it through a tin can. Like I promise it sounds good. But now, just in the way that a lot of the music videos we watch are meant to look retro, they have grainy effects, and like having grainy production effects, like you can have the deliberate lo-fi choice, and that's a distinctive, purposeful decision. And like this is, it pulls you back into it because it is so raw and accessible and real. When back in the day, like 15 years ago, that would have been, oh, this just sounds bad. And I want to listen to something that they spent more money on production. But like this is a whole universe that you can exist in.
Like I said, the lo-fi and DIY makes it feel more personal and more approachable.
Yes.
I feel like you're getting a more raw, just like this is my feelings and this is my emotions, as direct and as close to you as I possibly can. Whereas like sometimes production, having something a little bit overproduced is very dangerous with this kind of stuff.
Takes you out of it.
And it'd be like, oh, there's no connection. I don't really connect with them. There's thousands of dollars of production between me and them. Like I don't know. So, and this is just very, just like just very close. Just very, I can't think of the word, but yeah, it's just raw. So.
Yeah, it feels like a lot of inexperienced but passionate musicians got into a room, put a microphone in the middle of the room, and just played their guts out. And and the raw, unrefined, product that we're listening to is, I feel like, a sound that as time goes on, a lot of bands are going to try and chase. That sound that they're going to try and chase that raw, unproduced indie sound and do it in a very, very high produced way.
And I'll tell you, it makes me think of a band called Jet Noise here in Virginia Beach, like way back in the day. It's like this is that song that everyone's like screaming for, like play this, and then they're gonna lose it. It's like the big single from the Hometown Heroes.
And I like how they came out the gate swinging, and then like they let you cry it out in the middle, and then they're probably gonna hopefully bring it in for a nice rock star finish. So let's keep it going.
Well, you'll see. Gotta have the toy piano.
That's cool.
Fucking horns. if y'all ever listened to the band Clever Girl, but they got like horns in this kind of style.
I'll check it out.
There we go.
This is nice.
Dynamics.
Chills. Got chills.
Yeah, this feels like a New Jersey set closer.
It's the second track on the album.
That's cool.
The rest of the album goes fucking ham.
Oh, boom.
It goes into the next
you goes to the
song.
next
I
right.
love when bands do that. You could really feel the energy from the room.
It's the other thing too. I guess another band it reminds me of is early, like the beginnings of Sunny Day Real Estate.
Yeah.
They
Oh,
kinda
yeah.
sound like that. They had that
Yeah, it's
circle
still-
song
it's still
that
got,
was
like-
like that. Mm-hmm. That's good.
Definitely.
Definitely.
We really appreciate you sharing that song with us.